probably there someplace.
Well, last night the meeting has been live streamed.
It could be, oh, I am live on Facebook. Oh, shoot. I'm going to hit record. I'm early. That's all right. Live on Facebook, not a big deal. I will record.
Well, last night she was inside and back inside of the coach.
Oh, okay. At least it didn't go outside.
Yeah. Woo!
Yay. Sean's here. Yay. And Nicholas, yes.
Hi, Sean.
What's happening, ladies?
Hey, just so you guys know. Oh wow, Deborah Bronner.
Hi, Nicholas.
Everyone.
Awesome.
What's up, Nick?
Deborah Browner. Did you
Just
call
so
her?
you guys know, we are already live on Facebook. I accidentally hit the button. So I'm not recording yet, but we are live just within our group. So not a big deal. How's everybody today?
Good.
Good.
Hi.
Awesome.
Less than highly favored.
Awesome, Nicholas. It finally got warm here. I'm like sweating today. Finally hit spring, summer, whatever. But now we're in a major thunder bumper. And so hopefully I don't lose power. If I do, I do. What are you gonna do, right? You guys, if there's a way to do it, go ahead and continue with the meeting if that does happen. Hopefully, I suppose if it goes out, it won't even allow me to pick another host. Maybe I can do that right now.
Nicholas, I volunteer Nicholas.
I will put Nicholas, absolutely, if he's up for that. Nicholas, is there? See,
Yeah. What were you talking about? My cat was making noises.
I would like you to push record on your machine and see if it asks allow me to give you over the host.
Oh, the thing is, maybe you have to make me host first, but I can't record right now on my phone.
Okay, all right. Let's. You know what? If it happens, we'll just deal with it. That's the way it goes. Okay, and Miss Melody. Okay,
I'll be right back.
I am going to hit record here, and then we're going to get started. Okay. Okay, hello you guys and everybody, welcome to the Final Book Club. I am super excited to be here and share this with you guys. This book has done amazing things for me, and going through it again, I again was out of my comfort zone big time, but I am gaining so much by going through this so many times. And Miss Melody Riba, one of my mentors, is here with us today. Thank you, Melody, for being here. And this is what I want to do. We're doing the final chapters. Chapter 15 is the advancing person. And then and a little bit of 16 was just cautions and some observations. And 17 was just a quick summary. Melody is going to do that summary, she's just going to tie it in a pretty little bow for us because she does that so well. She's an amazing coach and mentor. I love her to death. Okay. So, and I got to tell you guys, I'll do that after I go through my little spiel and we let Melody tie it up in a little bow. Then I would like each of us to come out if you feel comfortable with that. And I'm going to tell you what I have gotten out of going through this book again. And I would like you guys to do the same if you feel comfortable. And even if you did not get one single pop by going through this book with me, that's okay. That's okay. But I want you to share that with me. I expect nothing but honesty, because if we're going to grow as leaders, we need to take constructive criticism. And if I am not putting any value out there, I need to know that. Okay. I need to know that. So let me just, okay, all good vibes here. Hey, just FYI, I officially have horses on my property today, as of 10 minutes ago. I'll tell you all about that later. I don't know if I'm gonna ride yet, but we'll see. Anyway, that's kind of exciting for me. I've always wanted horses. I haven't rode since I was a kid, but I haven't. So, and I can't afford to get into any horse doo-doo piles. Anyway, okay, here we go. Chapter 15 is the advancing person. I want to tell you, just by reading this book, there was not a whole lot of pops going on. There was not a lot of pops at all when I first read this book. It was like, wow, am I just not getting this or what? I did not understand so many things, and I was trying to overthink it and analyze everything, and it was just a big jumbled mess. Okay, I had to just take a step back and really focus on doing a little bit of this every day. I would take one chapter, read it every day, whatever it is that I felt like I was struggling with, whether that would be focus or vision, or maybe it was gratitude, or maybe I find it really, really difficult to be kind and loving to other people. That's a real possibility. It happens. We are not perfect, and we are just here to grow. I think the earth spins on its axis. The sun goes around in orbit, right? In every turn, there is an advancement, an increase in frequency and vibration. Are you guys on the same path with me here? Kind of, sort of. I know that it's not in the book, but see, this is the point that I was trying to make. I had to couple other things with this book in order for it to make sense to me. Okay. And that's why I'm talking about this specifically, evolution, progression, the way the world evolves. We need to go with that. If we've lived on Earth 365 days and we are the same person that we were that time last year, then we are not growing. We are absolutely going backwards if we are not growing. While everything else in the universe is progressing, evolving, developing, and unfolding. So we must embrace that idea. Okay. I don't know why I'm nervous. Gosh darn it. Ugh. Okay, let me breathe. I don't know why I'm nervous.
You got this. You're amazing.
Okay. Think of a rose. Okay. I want you guys to think of a rose. And when that rose unfolds to show its beauty, it doesn't matter if it's in a spot that somebody can see, or if it's in a spot that nobody can see. It puts off, it releases a vibration into the universe. Okay. So think of it this way. Act as if you are like you have a rosebud in the palm of your hand. Okay. And as you hold that, you can see it unfold. You can see the petals open up, right? But we never saw the petals move. Did we? Look at Melody's got that. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so it, if you held that, yeah, if you held it in your hand and you witnessed the unfolding, okay, then you're going to experience the beauty, and that vibration goes off into the universe. If you force that rose to open the petals before it's ready, it will die. So the way that I perceive that is like forcing our will onto others. We could kill a dream if we do that. We can't have other people act like we want them to act or do things that we want them to do so that it benefits us. That is putting the will, and I know we're not talking about the will specifically this chapter. However, it all goes together. It all goes together, you know, and being competitive and creative. I was raised, you know, think about it. When we go through school, we go through our childhood, we go, you know, we're at recess, we're going through school, and then we're in high school, and we're in sports, and we're doing all these things. Everything is so competitive. Everything is so competitive. And, you know, all we know is, you know, you go to school, you get good grades, you get a good job, extended education, you get married, you have kids, you retire. End of story, right? I did not know there was any other way than that. No way. You know what I mean? We only know what we know. And I don't know, I get off track a little bit, but I know what I want to say, but organizing those thoughts has been challenging for me. I'm working on that. I am getting better and better. Being competitive is what we always known. That's all I've known. I've never been, you know, told that there is so much abundance out there. We all have enough abundance. There's enough for everybody, but our thoughts are limited to exactly what our environment is, our paradigm, what we've been taught. And that is a very difficult thing to stop and turn that around. It is very difficult because we are creatures of habit. And we do what makes us feel comfortable. And this book club definitely got me uncomfortable again. But I feel blessed that you all are here and share the time with me to go through this book. I absolutely love it. And I am getting so much out of this. And as I said, coupling other things, I had to take other resources. Robert Hollis, his trainings are phenomenal. And I'm telling you, every training he does, he is focused on these principles of this book. And he conducts and acts that certain way. I have never not seen that man do that. And that is what I admire about him. You know, Melody, another one. I've learned so much from her. She is an amazing human doing. So I'm gonna just I'm gonna let you take over, Melody. I could go more into this. I can, you know what? But I'm here to listen to the wisdom. When there's more wisdom than I have, I want to hear it. So I'm going to open this up to you, and then I'm going to come back afterwards, and I want to explain where I was when this book started with me and now.
Wow, Lisa.
you know, this is really appropriate. And I want to say why I'm so proud of Lisa. She got uncomfortable, put herself in an uncomfortable position with leading this book club and sharing this critical information. And I call it critical because I know what my life was before it and what it is now. And I just want to mention something really quick as far as that advancing person. Lisa, it's one thing to be that advancing man or woman ourselves. One of the biggest things that Robert has shown us is in an example, and every day that I've known him for over a decade, is he helps others to become an advancing person. And what you've done with this book club, Lisa, truly is helping others to advance, to move forward, to move ahead, to become gooder and gooder, like Robert says. So, Lisa, wow, boom. That is the proof you need for yourself to know that you've done an incredible job. You are that advancing person, and not just within yourself, but taking that to help others to become, you know, gooder and gooder. So I can't say that enough. It makes me laugh. So I apologize if that's like making somebody cringe and going, doesn't she know perfect grammar? I know how to say it. I just like to copy my mentor. So if somebody's made millions of dollars and they say to do something, or they talk in a certain way, or yeah, I want to be that copycat. I just want to make sure that I'm copying the right cat. And Robert's got the documentation for that. As far as, you know, being an advancement for yourself, ask yourselves, are you continually becoming that better version of yourself? Are you taking the principles from this book? And I highly recommend, this is what I needed to do to really start understanding not just for my own mind's sake, but to kind of a checklist for myself. And am I using these principles? Am I getting it? Am I properly applying them in my own life? So take the time to write down what each principle is from each chapter, and look at your own life. Take that quiet time. I used to think that quiet time, you know, oh, you got to stop and think and write things down and all of that. I was like, how's that going to make me money? No, I need to be busy, right? That is part of the biggest production that I've ever been able to apply to my life, is to write them down and then, you know, look at them. So for example, you know, when it comes to the success principles, I just want to give you a quick example of how you might do this. I just want to make it really, really simple for you. So we've got, you know, one of our principles is to have a definite vision. So we need to take the time to know what it is that we want, what it is we're going to work for, move towards. And then next to that, I would write, well, what is my vision? Well, I will tell you, I've always been told since the very beginning, before I was working directly with Robert, I was working with his, I was learning from his copycat. I mean, the original copycat is Robert Hollis Jr. And he would always say, Melody, you need to dream bigger. You need to reach further. And I know, Nicholas, I've kind of harped on you with this. It's not just enough to be, oh, I just want to pay my bills, or I just want to buy this new car, or I just want to repair my old one, or whatever it is. Our vision needs to be greater than us. So taking the time quiet time, uninterrupted time, to just focus on what is it that we are looking to achieve. What is that? And then next to that, I would write down what are certain steps that I would need to do to achieve it. And some of you have been around me long enough to where, yes, we have this big vision, this big goal. We need to make sure that we're doing something consistently, taking consistent daily actions to work to get to that goal. Now, Lisa, I saw this in your head just right now, and you're just going consistent daily actions daily. Well, I like to have play days. I saw that. You're going daily. Am I never going to get there if I take a day to play? No, that's the whole point, is when we put in the work and we do those consistent daily actions to get to that vision. The whole point of me living the life that I'm living is so I can do what I want, when I want, with who I want, wherever in the world I want to do it. I don't have to ask. So my vision is ultimately is freedom of choice. And my freedom of choice has changed from which bill do I pay this month? And do I want to keep the water on? Do I want to keep the electricity on? Well, I need the internet, so electricity, we don't need to pay. Now my freedom of choice is different. Who I spend time with, where I spend, I mean, I can do anything I want. And the most real proof of that for me was when Robert and Terry and I got on a private jet to go to the Bahamas. It was not planned. There was no time to save money. There was no time to do anything. It's like, you want to go to the Bahamas? We've got this private jet. We're going to go and we're going to do a training. It was the most amazing thing. It cost probably about $6,000 around there that I needed to have right then. And it was like, oh my gosh, I can do this. Because I had put in the effort. It wasn't even part of my vision to go on a private jet to this island that it was just phenomenal with some of my favorite people on the planet. I didn't dream that big. You guys get that? It just came. And when it came, I was able to participate in that. That's where, and if you've been following me for any amount of time or been around me enough, you know that I always say a luxury experienced once becomes a necessity. You know how hard it is to get on a commercial airliner after you've been on a private jet? I only want to fly private, right? So that's the thing, is our vision grows as we grow. And to take these principles and to write your steps down. What is that vision for yourself? What are 3 to 5 steps that you need to do? I call these the stepping stones that we need to be working for, because psychologically for me, if I put a big goal, a big vision down, and did not recognize the steps I was taking in between until I got to that big vision, then it would seem like I wasn't going to ever get there. But if I broke it down into steps, what do I need to do? And I wrote those steps down. And then I could just go, okay, these are the steps I need to take. This is what I'm doing today. Tomorrow I do this. Everything I did became intentional. And it also allowed me to make sure that I wasn't being busy. Oh, I'm so busy, and not getting anything accomplished. So we need to make sure that we are productive, not busy. And we need to make sure that we are being productive with learning these principles and applying them. And so those 3 to 5 stepping stones that I'm talking about, when I break it down, what are some of the things that need to be achieved to be able to get to this big goal. I know, Nicholas, you and I had talked about this a few times. When I was able to achieve the stepping stone steps, it gave me a gauge. I could measure my results. Robert says, get measurable results. So for example, if you're in a company and you want to hit a certain rank, what are some of the things that need to be achieved before you get that rank? You need to talk to a certain amount of people. A certain amount of people need to join you or purchase product from you, or whatever it is that you're doing. If you have your own coaching program, it's, how many people is it going to take for you to advance, since we're an advancing man, so advance or help. And that's the whole thing. These principles broken down has just been, a lot of it, I'll be honest, did not make perfect sense to me in the beginning. It was as my mind was expanding, as I was sitting at the feet of Robert Hollis, somebody who is documented in creating other successful people, I was able to just glean what I was ready to take in, right? As I was learning and growing, the words in the book from the Science of Getting Rich became alive. And Lisa, I think you and I were talking about this earlier today. There are a lot of books you can read, and they are words on a page, and they remain on that page. And you might glean something or an example or a story from it, and that might be influential one way or the other. However, the Science of Getting Rich, also Think and Grow Rich, these books become a living thing. And because they start living within us, as we start looking at these principles, learning what they are, how we can apply them in our life, how we can daily start incorporating them, things like gratitude. In the beginning, we needed to be reminded. Maybe we needed it in our journal. Maybe you received a gratitude journal from me and go, okay, this is something I'm going to do every day. It's not about doing something every day. It's about having it mesh with your life so you don't have to be reminded. It's a way of life, right? Just like Lisa was talking about, the competition, not to have that competition. Some people thrive with a little competition. It motivates them. I've got a really good friend who does really well when there's a contest. However, I'm out. I'm out. I am my competition. I need to beat yesterday's melody. I need to be better than last week's melody. Because we lose track, we lose our focus if we're always looking at what somebody else is doing, especially if they're not documented and you're not supposed to be copying them. That's why I say you need to find a documented mentor, not documented in success themselves, but documented in a way that they have helped other people achieve. And that's what's so important. Too many of us are trying to follow too many people, too many things. Robert just did a call talking about this recently even, and it hit me again. Because I've got so many people going, oh, did you watch so-and-so's training? It was amazing. Oh, did you watch so-and-so's training? It's amazing. Part of learning to these principles that allow me to live the life that I want to live, that I choose to live, the freedoms that I want. I could spend all day watching this person and watching that person and watching this person and watching that person. And yes, they might be phenomenal. But I like my freedom too. So I am going to choose what I know is not going to be parts of something Robert teaches, I'm going to take things and I'm going to go, okay, this is my limited time. This is who I'm going to learn from. The top documented people. I follow Jenna. I follow Josh. I follow Robert. Because even though some other people maybe teach or heavily influenced, they've learned from Robert, they tend to add in their own stuff. And that's where I get people coming to me going, okay, well, they said to do this. Robert says to do this, and they said to do this. And then they get confused. And what? Confused people do nothing. Nothing. They sit and they overthink and they ponder and blah, 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 blah. Life gets busy and they just, it goes down the toilet from there. So when you come to these principles of having that, you know, that vision to be creative, not competitive, you know, think of ways in your life that you can be creative and not just competitive. For me, it's about wanting other people to achieve more than I want myself. It's about helping others more. You know, gratitude, you know, learning to incorporate that in your day. You know, all of these things, if you think of any successful person, you know, they are following these success principles. Now, a lot of us have got a lot of crap programming. We've got a lot of things that, you know, we grew up believing, we were taught this, it was part of our culture scape. It's what we believed on this side of the tracks versus on that side of the tracks. You know what I mean? So we have to really understand why we believe what we believe. Because a lot of the things, when Robert was teaching me these principles, he was asking me, why do you say that? Or why do you think that? Or why do you believe that? And it really caused me to go back to everything that I believe, everything, and question, where did that belief come from? And do I really believe that? It also caused me to question my faith. And you know what happened? I got stronger in my faith. Because I knew that I knew that I knew that it was true, that it was real, that it was, you know, so there are many things that we believe. And part of that programming from before causes us to not believe that we can achieve, causes us to believe that we're lesser than, so we can't achieve like somebody like the Jenna Zweigels or the Robert Hollises, or, you know, whoever else is out there, that we think that we're going to learn something and we will never, ever, ever. I remember thinking, okay, so if I could just achieve 10% of what Robert does, like if I messed it up completely and I didn't do what I was supposed to do with urgency and enthusiasm, yeah, I could probably achieve 10% of his success. And I was willing to settle for that. Can you believe that? It still would have been a lot better life than what I was living. But it had to go outside of me and what I wanted, like my bills to be paid, my electricity to stay on, to be able to have, you know, gas, to be able to take a warm shower, a hot shower. Cold showers suck. It had to be bigger than that. That was my motivation in the beginning, but as I would grow, my vision would grow. And then it became about other people. How can I do this for other people? How can I needed to show other people. I was meeting a lot of people that were not even as bad as I was, but they were miserable nonetheless. And to be able to teach people that you have the power to be able to learn these success principles and apply these success principles and live a completely different life than you are in right now. And it's like, my mind exploded. And it's like, wait a minute. I have the power? Nobody. I have the power? Each and every one of you have the power to utilize these success principles that can change your life. Think of 1, 2, 3 things you don't like about your life right now. You can erase them and rewrite the pages of this chapter in your life with these success principles. And that's what gets me so excited. So excited. It's amazing the power that not only we can have, but we can share with others. There are people, I was one of them, homeless, couldn't feed my kids, living out of a car with my children, listening to them fall asleep hungry at night. Victim mentality, a lot of limiting beliefs. And Lisa, you were talking about, other things that helped you along the way. Let me share with you 2 other things. One of them is this book right here, The Greatest Miracle in the World by Og Mandino. Robert said, read the book, read the last chapter, the God Memorandum, 100 days in a row. That was August 15th, I want to say 2016. I have done it every single day since then. If I can't see it to read it, I listen to it. There's an incredible audio that by a really good friend who did a video. She's an amazing voice. And Lisa Marie can share that with you. Wanda Kay, oh my goodness. 100 days in a row. Robert said, come back after 100 days, right? Let me know when you've done 100 days. If you miss a day, start over. Well, this girl don't like to start over. I wasn't going to let that happen. It impacted my thinking, my limiting beliefs, how I felt about myself so much. I didn't realize I was so valuable. I didn't realize I was uniquely and purposefully made. It helped me in learning to apply and believe that I can achieve with those success principles. So one of the other things is thoughts are things. This is by Prentice Mulford. And I don't know if any of you have ever read it, but holy smokes. I was thinking all kinds of things that were not going to serve me in creating the life that I wanted to live. Those thoughts, those limiting beliefs kept me in tragedy. It kept me in chaos. They paralyzed me. Just like with anything that we're afraid of, we should lean into it instead of away from it. Like Lisa did with this book club, lean into it. So what if you don't know it like the back of your hand? So what if you're just learning it? Learn it with somebody else. Learn to share. And that's where we get our greatest reward. So many of us are learning these principles. We're doing, slowly incorporating them into our life, but truly they need to mesh into who we are. Our existence, our living, our daily, all the time. And I promise you, if you really lean into these and how to apply them to your life, everything is going to change. But you got people that are just popping in here and popping in there. And it's like, oh yeah, I know that principle. Oh yeah, I'll take this one. Start with one, but know what they all are. Write them down. How can you be using these in your life? What changes can you, and a lot of times it's just a little tweak in the way that we think, what we think we're going to believe, whether it's true or not, right? Our brains don't know what's real or not real. So yeah, I just get really, really excited about these success principles. And Lisa, I don't know, these have changed everything, every area of my life, not just in being more successful in business. It's helped my relationships, family and not, my friendships, my partnerships. It's helped. I mean, just gratitude alone. It's not about one time being grateful during the day or maybe before bed and at night. It's a good place to start. But to learn, we hear pray without ceasing, be grateful without ceasing. In everything throughout your day, learn to practice gratitude, learn to say what you're grateful for, all of these things. So Lisa, I could go on forever. I'm just going to go ahead and I don't know exactly
Yeah, that's phenomenal. No,
what you want me to share.
that was amazing. As I
Thank
said,
you.
always just tidy up everything in a pretty little bow for me. I love you. Thank you for that. I absolutely want to share what each of you have gotten out of this, if anything. And you know what? I talk and talk on each of these, and I want to hear more from you guys. I do. I could have went through each of these principles, but honestly, everybody has access to that at their fingertips. It's on YouTube. You can Google anything. We need, not necessarily not have faith in other people, but don't always trust everything you hear. You can learn this information. You can find out information. I ask Google everything. I'm like, I love Google. I ask him anything, I call him my Dr. Google. He knows it all. So he does. And you know what? Even if I don't, it's a matter of how you ask questions too. You are going to get different answers depending on how you ask that question. That is kind of funny. But I think the biggest thing that I have taken out of this book is awareness. Being aware of, oh my goodness, so many things. All the little things that we unconsciously do just because we are creatures of habit. We do things without even thinking. In fact, Bob Proctor tells us we do anything but think. We don't think. You know what I mean? And it wasn't just the book where I've got, Melody was right. This affects every single area of your life. It has with me. Are all things perfect? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But you know what? Each one continually gets just itty bitty better. Just 1% better than I was yesterday. It doesn't have to be in every single area. Just that little bit, just to say, oh my gosh, I did better with that today, or I contacted one more person. I helped another person today. That is huge. And we are supposed to take others with us, share what we are learning from our mentors, give that back to other people. That's what we are supposed to do. That is doing things in a certain way to evolve and let others come along and not push that ladder down. Watch them struggle, to climb to the top. And you sit there and laugh at them. I don't do everything perfect. I say things without thinking sometimes. We all do. I could go into so many different areas and this could go on for hours. I'm going to open this up to you guys. I wanted to know what, if anything, you have gotten from this. Deborah, I saw your hand up first. I'm going to unmute you.
There we go. Hi, everyone. Well, Melody, you knew I needed to plug into this call. And I love, Lisa, your rose analogy. That was gorgeous in my hand, that rose. Thank you for that. And you're amazing, Lisa. I've stayed away from this book club because I haven't physically read. I've listened to it, the book, in a couple years. I have to be honest and vulnerable. It got difficult to read things. That was a big excuse. But when you talked about all the benefits, I'm going to go back, and because I was like you, Lisa, in the beginning, I wasn't relating, I wasn't getting stuff. So it got real frustrating. So I need to go back and really get what it has to offer. So I thank you, Melody. You're phenomenal. You're above what I want to become when I grow up. You evolve all the time, so I have to. Thank you, everybody.
Aw, thank you, Deborah. You're amazing. Thank you so much for spending your afternoon a little time with us today. I appreciate you. And you know what? We're all just growing. We are. And it is, if we're not getting something, we have to just kind of put our pride down. And we need to ask. If we don't know something, ask, or ask Dr. Google. He knows a lot too. He does. Okay, anybody else want to share with us? Nicholas, go ahead, bud.
Hey everyone. Yeah, that book is amazing. And what helped me a lot with understanding and learning the book was Melody's 30-day accountability course. Because then we read a chapter I can't remember if it was every day, I believe so. And then we do a video and we write down what we learned and so on. But I want to say, I wrote down a couple of things from the book that really got to me. But first I want to say something that really amazes me about this book is, first off, when I read it the first time, it was the only thing I could think of was, this is common sense. It's like I'm relearning what I already knew. The second thing that really got to me when I became aware of this was, it talks about how we manifest the life that we want. All the success books talk about how we manifest the things that we want. But the funny thing is that each and every one of us are already winners. Each and every one of us here, or people that will be watching this later on the replay, have manifested things that they wanted in life even before they started learning or knowing about personal development, which is amazing. So gratitude was a big thing for me, and also visualization, because gratitude and visualization goes together. When if you know that what you're following will get you to a goal, then you can be grateful for what's to come, because you're going there, you're getting there. So gratitude and visualization was awesome. Physical, the 2 chapters on willpower is amazing. Also, again, common sense, because you do not force other people, whether it's mentally or physically, to do things. We don't, there are endless of opportunity. This book really tells you that there are endless of opportunity. We don't have to push other people down in order for us to succeed. We can all succeed. It's for everyone if we only follow this. And the last thing, no, I think that was everything that I wrote down when you asked in the beginning. But it's amazing, really, when you get these aha moments, pops, and you becomes aware, and you gain wisdom, and we become gooder and gooder. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicholas. I love your analogies. I have watched you grow so much over the last, I don't know, 2.5 years. I think I've been following Melody about the same, about 3 years with Robert, maybe 2.5 years. I don't know, we're getting close to, I don't know. I just love the growth. I absolutely love the growth. I feel it. And I know in my heart when I'm doing the right thing and when I am not. And I think, you know what, if we can just worry about ourselves and not anybody else. You know, when we can focus on what we want our goals to be, we are not going to have not a bit of time to worry or judge or criticize anybody else. Nobody else. It's just, we need to worry about our own. You know, that's it. Thanks for sharing, Nicholas. I appreciate you so much. Anybody else want to share? Nick, Sean, come on out, buddy. Oops, I did that. Hang on. Try it again. There.
Yes. Hello, everyone.
You're good.
Where do I start? Everything that everybody said was on point. I'm gonna just in my world, because at a very young age, I was told to read at like 14. You know, you hear it, whatever. 14, I hit about 15, 16. I read and I read and I read and I read and I read to where my brain is like a library. Sometimes I do probably, you can't overthink, but tying everything that everybody was saying, and I'm gonna just start off little by little. All these books, I find it in my earthly experience to where all these books, Think and Grow Rich, whatever teacher I run across, like everything is right in the Bible, like it's right there. However, depending on who's teaching, they have you confused. And so you discredit what has already been given to us. Everybody, like we're all on an equal playing field. We were born with authority, but if you don't know this, we're not taught it. It's cool, it's how it goes. But you don't want to live your whole life on earth and not grow, whatever it is you're trying to grow in, whatever it may be. How do we get to certain heights in life? We really have to, in fact, in the book of Psalms, because I wrote it down in Psalms 119, it says, how does a person cleanse their way? By giving heed to the reading of the word of God. So I'm interpreting it a different way for more clarity. How does a person give heed to his way? By giving heed to the word of spirit. You're speaking to yourself all day long. It doesn't matter if you want to believe it or not. I wouldn't try to convince nobody. You're going to either talk or some form of information is running through you. And you got to, it's okay to run through you, their frequencies. But if it's got you at a low vibration, that's where that gratitude keeps you safe. Do all things without murmuring, complaining. That means gratitude. It's crazy how we're not taught something so simple that can bring you out of the foxhole, but it's just the way that it goes. But now that all of us know that we should be grateful, now we're totally responsible. We can't blame nobody. And so when you go to when you type Proverbs 12:1, it say to learn, you must study to be disciplined. To learn is, no, it says it's stupid to hate correction. You must learn to be disciplined. I think we know how to tie our shoes, we know how to brush our teeth. We don't need nobody telling us every day. But if we fall short of that, we're just not disciplined. And if we don't get disciplined in what we call, in fact, if we go to Habakkuk, it says write the vision. Write the vision means you need something to see. It's a menu. If you don't have no menu, you have confusion. You can't even go out of town if you don't have a map. You just, you kind of at a standstill. So when we're dealing with our own individual life, you really got to write the vision. Man plans his way, and the spoken word orders his steps. If you don't plan your way, don't expect for the universe to do nothing. We're going to accept all the concepts and ideas of all the frequencies outside of the world. And this is how the conversation goes. What do you want in life? I don't know. I don't know what you want either. And therefore, I can't help you. And so until you get yourself together, because I know what I want in my life, I got to keep moving. I'm not here really required to help. We're here to be messengers, because everything that everybody was saying, I'm just tying it up even more to where you can't help people who really don't want it. They would zap the energy out of it. Even I can want everybody to get what I'm saying. I want you to get it, but what does that do? Nothing. If you don't want it, all me want it is a waste. It's in vain. So at the end of the day, it kind of narrows down to this. We don't apply none of what we've learned, and it takes practice, whether it be 30 days, 100, consistent practice to get the desired results. We're going back to the bottom of the totem pole, and you got to start again until we're already manifesting. But are you aware of what you're manifesting? We're witches. You either witch yourself for the dark or the light energy. And don't worry about it. We all participants, therefore nobody get to talk about nobody. So, and then for our fellow mankind, this is all of us, color, for bodies that we couldn't choose. If one is off in their thinking, pull them to the side and help them, just bring some light to them. If they don't want it, let them be, shake the dust out, but don't be mad at them. They got a right to do just as what you do. Be according to your faith, which is your belief. That's why we argue. And I stand on that 100%. We're trying to persuade someone, eat chicken, eat duck, eat the horse, don't eat nothing. Whatever, y'all. If it's working for you, hey, do it. So I'm a time out. I'm done because I could go on this all day. It's such good energy, knowledge. God's people suffer for a lack of information. Like that's instruction. So Lisa, going back to what you were saying, Google, the right teacher, we suffer for a lack of information. I don't know where nobody needs information in, whether it be money, sickness, healing, whatever it may be. You need some form of information. I don't have it, but that spirit that's in every soul, if you really tapped in, be still and know that I am the law through quietness, the answers will come. And if you think they won't come, guess what? They won't come.
Right. That's
the
right.
universe is perfect.
Sean, you are freaking phenomenal. I could let you go on if you want. I mean,
no, I could, but in respect to people's time, I'm practicing being mindful because it rolls out of me. It's like,
I noticed that with you, and I'm going to say this to you. Would you please be on my team? Seriously.
I could listen to you all day long.
Deb, don't do that to me because you inspire me more. I promise you do. I need people. You can listen to me where I appreciate you. My family may say otherwise. A guy told me today, he said, if they sit down and really listen to you, you got a ton of knowledge. I said, I know. That's why I read. I realize I'm only smart for a fraction. It just depends on.
You know what? Yes. If you are in a room of 5 people, I want to be the least knowledgeable.
I ain't like everybody, just trying to advance and be that light to where anybody, like if they come to me, I get to choose who I want to help. My money just massive. I get to choose. Don't put, if you choose to put me out before the world, cool, but you don't have to. Secretly, I want to just help because I'm going to get mine. The universe rewards you openly. You see, that's what it's about, the freedom. And you can take a family and just, man, I'd help them put 100,000 in their pocket. They can afford, like I'm just talking to y'all, but that feels good. I'm gonna get mine regardless. So, but on that other end, it feels good being able to just pour into people, help one, help all. I need people too. It's got to be the right ones. That's why I'm connected with y'all, right?
I do appreciate that you have been participating here, Sean. You've added great value and I appreciate you. So thank you for that.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I have. Thanks for sharing, Sean. I have been thinking about this book club and how it brings us together. For one, Nicholas and I talked a little bit earlier today, and he had mentioned I get off track on occasion, but I'm telling you, our conversations when that happened end up being mind-blowing for me. Nicholas and I, Debbie, this is Sean, even this has happened a few times. Oh, here we go, Sean. You want to say something? Right there.
I think that was an accident. I was typing, but
oh, sorry.
but I'm gonna go on and say it so I don't have to type. Melanie, thanks for your comment. Deb, especially you, but putting y'all all in a collage. Nicholas and Lisa, you already know how I feel. It's appreciative. Deb, I think I'm just meeting you, but hey, you part of the family now, so I'm grateful. And I'm done.
Okay. I am thinking, I am not doing another book club or committing to anything like this until next winter, possibly, but I am really wanting to do Robert's bestseller. How's that working? And I really would like to do that. And You guys can have that book completely free right now. Go to roberthollis.com/free. That will also give you access to his all new training, his step-by-step process, completely freaking free. Are you kidding me? If you can lead a horse to water, you cannot make them drink. I'm telling you, plug into this man. Plug into him. I don't care if you join my business or not, or whatever business, as long as you are in the business of helping people, plug into Robert. He will help you. Now, I believe that, just one quick thing here before we go. This has been phenomenal. Thank you all again so much. But I believe at the beginning of this book club, I had asked each of you to write something down. And I believe that it was, what does it mean to you to be rich? For anybody, has that changed since the beginning of the book club? Or maybe nobody did that? Does anybody have something they want to share? Melody.
You know, Lisa, I not from this particular book club, but from this book.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons that I wasn't excited to read this book when Robert said read this book, because the title, and I think I've said it on here, is it was, I had no desire to be rich. I just wanted to be comfortable. How sad is that? I wanted to have a roof over our heads. I wanted to have, to be able to feed my kids and all of that. So the title kind of threw me. And I don't know if any of you can relate to that at all. I was brought up believing that money is the root of all evil. I was taught that rich people are selfish and only in for themselves, things like that. So rich was not something I wanted to become, because you don't want to become something you despise. Until I got past that, I really thought rich was about money and only about money. I don't know why. I look back now and I'm like, why did I believe that? Over getting to know these principles and truly learning from Robert and watching him as an example of life, what a successful person actually lives like. I learned very quickly it was about the freedom I spoke of earlier, but the freedom to choose to who I wanted to spend my time with, who was in my circle. There was a time where I thought in order to be successful, I needed to surround myself with a bunch of people that were willing to participate in their own rescue. And that was a miserable place for me to be. Spending my time with people that made me feel exhausted and like they just sucked the joy right out of my life. I have freedom, which is riches to me, to not just do what I want, when I want, with who I want, wherever I want in the world, but I have the freedom to choose who I want in my inner circle, in my realm. And that is a big part of the riches that I have in my life. So I hope that maybe helps some of you think about what is rich to you. And I am truly blessed to be able to be connected with, Robert and Lisa and the people that are in my life every single day. I get so much joy and enthusiasm. Deborah, Nicholas, oh my gosh, you guys bless me. And the best part about it is I'm spending time with the people I choose to spend time. That's amazing. That's true riches. And when I can just do that. And, I want to point out one quick thing. Lisa, you said it earlier, awareness. With this book, there is an awareness that happened. Sean, you touched on it as well. Once you have been made aware that there is a certain way, you have the power to choose what you do with your life. You have the power to do something right now, today, to change your life. That awareness, coupled with gratitude, coupled with the rest of these, just adding another principle to, put yourself on a schedule if you have to, but always becoming more aware of what these principles are and how you can, your life will be full of riches that you can't even fathom right now. And that's what happened to me. And I'm just so blessed. And I'm watching you bloom like that beautiful rose, Lisa. Watching all of you guys is just, we can't force other people to bloom. But you know what? Think about this. And this just popped in my head, so I don't know what this means. When a rose, it blooms, it's beautiful and fragrant and lives its best life, but then it goes away. Eventually the petals fall off, but you know what? There's new blooms. And as you learn these principles and learn to apply them, it's like you are the rose plant and you've got multiple blooms happening. Gratitude, not competing, but lifting others up. All of these things, the advancing woman, I have to add that just because I'll kick myself later for not saying it. But, I want you guys to see yourself as continually blooming, continually growing, and bringing that beauty into other people's lives, blessing them with that beauty and helping them, showing them how to bloom as well. And when you have all this blooming around you, it's so freaking exciting. You can't help but to be excited for the day, for the week, for your conversations, and to connect with people. You just can't help it, because you might run into a little tiny rosebud that starts all closed up. And you have the ability to share this information and watch that rosebud as it opens and blossoms into the most beautiful life that they've ever had. The most beautiful relationships, the most beautiful awareness in how to take care of their body and how to share with others and bless others. And it literally, once you start thinking about others, how can I help others? If you get through your day and you can't say, I helped this person today, or I blessed this person today, you're not living your days right. It's not about you. I promise you, no matter how desperate things get, the more you reach and lean into others and bless them, the more you are going to see the power that you have within you. And I know it's hard. We get all caught up. I got this going on. I don't feel good here. I've got, my family situation and all of this. Lean into somebody else. Help somebody else regardless. And do not stop, and be proud of yourself and give yourself grace as you're learning to do this. That's one of the most important things. Learn to pat yourself on the back. Celebrate you, share it with somebody like me or Lisa, and continue the next day. How can I bless somebody tomorrow? Right, Lisa?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was looking at John's comment about the cat freaking him out. Sorry, Melody, you are phenomenal, and I love you so much. And you just brought everybody that is here, everybody that has participated. There are many that are not here. I had a pretty decent group here. I mean, phenomenal, I think. And each one of you have added something to this, and I thank you for that. And we did discuss, several of us, about continuing to get together once a month, maybe. If anybody still wants to do that and have our BS session, which I absolutely love because we really get down to it sometimes. You know what I mean? And I think Nicholas and I were talking, this is really, really good for us to do because it did bring about a situation, Nicholas and I talked about, where there was confusion, you know, as to the proper, exactly what to do, you know, following Robert's step. And so we were able to discuss that, and we got to the bottom of it without having to, you know, reach out to Robert or Melody about it. We were able to do that on our own. And so I think that is very, very good for us. And plus we need a place to vent once in a while. So there you go. Okay. Does anybody have anything they want to add? Otherwise, I'm gonna end this. Go ahead, Deborah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, when is that session?
We haven't decided yet, but I could set a date right now if you guys want it. Up to you.
Whenever. I would like to send me a link or whatever.
You know what? We will do that. In fact, maybe Nicholas and I will put us on a rotation. Each one of us can host it on a different month or something like that. I think that would be really, really fun. You know, or we can pick a topic that's going to help us grow. Let's pick a topic and we can discuss that. It doesn't have to be a host. I mean, we have to have some sort of order, obviously, but we can definitely. Melody, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to suggest, maybe as some of you are learning to become aware of what those principles are and starting to practice them, to discuss that, what that journey is like, what it looks like, where you have questions,
Sure.
how to think about it differently, you know, to change your perspective on some things is really going to help you in that journey. So I see Nicholas's hand is up as well. And you know, that's just a suggestion.
That's a great idea, Melody. Thank you. Go ahead, Nick.
Oh, yeah, I just want to say we were talking earlier, and I know I said to you that I love it when we get off topic and everyone starts to discuss things with each other. That's when I learn the most, and because we hear, so I would love for you to do more of these calls with books, because when we hear other people's views on things, because not everyone thinks exactly the same, we learn or I learn so much, and I hope everyone else do as well. So I love it that you let it. I love it that you let the conversation continue even when we get off topic, because I learned so much from that. So thank you, Lisa, for everything that you do.
Oh, thank you, Nicholas. That is so sweet. I appreciate you. I think, you know what? I'm just going to put this out there and let's just do it. And I'll pick the first topic. I'll let you guys know. Let's just do it the first Wednesday of every month. How about at the same time? Yeah. How about at the same exact time? 2 p.m. Pacific. That would be 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. First Wednesday of every month. And so that would be, let's see. Oh, June 1st. June 1st. Is that cool with everybody? Share with your friends, share with your team. Bring more people to this. I think the more, the better. The more, you know, the more we can hear from others, I think the better we are. Debbie, thank you. Deb said she had to go. Thank you so much. I appreciate each one of you. And Melody, I can't thank you enough for hopping on here. Sean, thank you. Nicholas, Deborah, Debbie, love you guys so much. We're out of here. Have a great, great day. Have an awesome summer, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Make it a great week. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you,
Thanks,
everyone.
Melody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Love you, Lisa.
Love you too, Deb. Thank you for coming. Bye,
You're
Deborah.
welcome. Yeah, June 1st.
June 1st. Woo!